Hello, this is Ms. Moore, and today during chemistry we're going to discuss properties of solids. Today's essential question: what are the differences in properties of solids based on bond type? This should be a relatively easy and painless lecture. We're just going to go over a list of properties. This shouldn't be too bad. All right, so we're going to start with properties of solids from ionic compounds. So properties of ionic compounds. So ionic bonds are very strong bonds. They are the strongest of the three bond types we talked about. And remember that ionic bonds are made when you have a metal atom, or more specifically ion, joining with a non-metal. Okay, so some properties. Ionic compounds are brittle. Brittle means, I guess, breaks easily. You can think of like, but not bendy, but more breaky, like a ceramic plate. What else? What else are good examples of something that's brittle? Not necessarily something plasticky that can bend, but something that would break easily. Some rocks, when you drop them and they'll totally shatter, that would be an example of something that's brittle. An important one is that most ionic compounds, or solids made up of atoms bonded ionically, they are solids at room temperature, okay? They have very, very high melting and boiling points, which means it takes a very high temperature, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of heat to melt or boil compounds made up of atoms that are bonded ionically. Think for example, salt. Salt is made up of sodium and chlorine atoms that become ions, and they're bonded ionically. If you put them in a pan and heat them up, you're not, like salt, you put salt in a pan and heat it up, you're not going to see it melt. It's just going to sit there. You can't you can't melt salt just on a stove. You need a much, much, much higher temperature. Okay, they're soluble in water, which means they dissolve in water. Okay, so soluble means dissolvable. And they conduct, let's go back and talk about soluble again. Soluble in water, think again about salt. You put some salt in water and it's going to dissolve. You could you could put salt in water and then hand it to somebody and say, go ahead and have some water. They wouldn't even know there was salt in it. They wouldn't be able to see it because it's completely dissolved, right? Until they drank it, of course. Okay, ionic compounds conduct electricity in the liquid and aqueous state. Aqueous means dissolved. In water. Ionic compounds do not conduct electricity in the solid state. Okay, that's important. Is metallic bonds, or properties of metallic compounds. Metallic compounds are solids made out of metal atoms that are bonded. So when you have a metallic bond, it's going to be a metal atom bonded to a metal atom. Metallic bonds are also are strong bonds. For the most part, ionic bonds are stronger. So remember up here I wrote that ionic bonds are very strong bonds. And metallic bonds are strong bonds. They're strong, but not quite as strong. Okay, so some properties. Metallic compounds are malleable and ductile. fancy, fancy words that mean things like they can bend. So think about metal wire. You can bend metal wire, and they're stretchable. You can pull them apart. They bend and stretch quite a bit before they break. Okay, so they're not brittle. They're more bendable and stretchable. So they're malleable and ductile. They also are normally solid at room temperature. They also have high melting and boiling points. You will note that for the ionic bonds, I use the term very high melting and boiling point. So they have high melting and boiling points, but usually lower than ionic. Okay, still very, you need a lot of heat. For the most part, you couldn't melt something made out of metal on your stovetop. They are insoluble in water. Insoluble means not dissolvable. Does not dissolve in water. I mean, think about it. Put some metal in water, it's likely not going to dissolve. And metals conduct electricity in both the solid and liquid state. So ionic and metallic compounds conduct electricity, but ionic only in the liquid or dissolved aqueous state, and metals in the solid and liquid state. So basically metals always conduct electricity. And let's talk about our last bond type, which is properties of covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are solids made up of atoms that are covalently bonded. Remember that there are two types of covalent bond, polar and nonpolar, but here we're just grouping them together. We're talking about, in general, covalent bonds. So covalent bonds are weaker. They're much weaker than ionic and covalent. No, ionic and metallic, sorry. And ionic or covalent bonds are formed when two or more nonmetal atoms are bonded. Okay. So many covalent solids are liquids or even gases at room temperature. They have much lower melting and boiling points than either ionic or metallic solids. They are often insoluble or do not dissolve. In water. And they do not conduct electricity. In fact, they are often insulators. An insulator, think about back to the metal wire we talked about with the metallic bonds. Most of the wires in your household are metal, right? Because metal conducts electricity very well. But you don't want that electricity to be, you want it running through only the wires, so you wrap it in plastic. Plastic is your insulator, and plastic is made up of, it's a type of covalent compound made up of covalent bonds. And it does not conduct electricity, so it protects, it puts a space between the electricity and the outside environment. So, believe it or not, that's it for today. Just a quick list of some different properties of ionic, covalent, and metallic compounds. And that's it. Have a good one.